It is the end of the legislative year for Nigerian lawmakers. However, the year ended on a rather controversial note. The House had promised to pass the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, the Petroleum Industry Bill, and the supplementary budget before proceeding on recess. It did, but with dissent from some members of the House. The members from the Niger Delta region had on Thursday objected to the 3% host community funds. For the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, the friction was on Clause 52 on the electronic transmission of results.
And maybe to conclude my statement, you recall yesterday there are other clauses that we have kept to ourselves that will, after the constitution, go back to those clauses to look at them again. This particular clause is not an exception, and I still want to put it that go and read our votes and proceedings of today. This particular question was put, and that was why we had it reported at the Committee of the Whole. I want to beg of us that making us rank cross a house is not the solution.
As a basis for taking a decision, the National Communication Commission was invited to explain the possibilities of transmitting results electronically.
We did in 2018 conduct network coverage studies in respect of all polling units in the country. We found out we had about 119,000 polling units, about 119. We were able to get the coordinates of about 109,000, and we plotted this across the map of the country, and we superimposed on it the network coverage we had, service-wise. We plotted 2G coverage, 3G coverage, and LTE coverage, and we were able to see that about half of the polling units were covered with 2G/3G services. That is both 2G and 3G services. Roughly about 50.3% of those. Then about 49.7% did not have any coverage at all.
As the debate continued on the bill, lawmakers from the People's Democratic Party staged a walkout to express their dissatisfaction.
What is the point of this, sir? Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman.
Because Honorable Faleke also brought an amendment in agreement to our belief that results should be electronically transmitted. So it has nothing to do with only minority. And where it's not possible, you use manual. That was his own amendment. So the two were rejected by him. And even when we call for a division, rejected. After all, in Senate, where they could not agree, there was a division, and they were allowed to vote so that Nigerians will know those who do not want transparency and those who want transparency.
Back in the House, deliberations continued, culminating on the passage of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. On the contentious electronic transmission of results, this was the decision.
To keep to our promises, I still want to, even though we are past it, whether there is somebody who wants this decision on 52, clause 52. Anybody want to move for decision for the constitution? 52 has carried.
While the lawmakers proceed on their vacation, Nigerians opposed to the decisions taken will have to contemplate the next line of action. Punarmam Fentola, Arise News.